they make shows about men and romance and man, you know, they depict a man's world very well. So how am I going to fit into that world? My only thing was, how will they depict a woman and, you know, what she has to feel and how she, because I didn't see a lot of that.
I mean, honestly, it wasn't a startup. It was just a small production house trying to make corporate films for even 5,000 rupees. So it was a survival thing that I started. Film banane aaya tha, that didn't happen. Television show tried, that didn't happen. Then I said, okay, let's do online stuff because, you know, you can put it on your own channel. So I think that was the, so there was no genius or vision behind it.
See, so far my identity is TVF only. When I go out and when people recognize me, they don't say Naveen. They say TVF. Hey, TVF. घर से ही एक्टर्स निकाल रहे हैं. मैं तो डायरेक्टर बनने की कोशिश कर रहा था. तो उसने कहा भाई और कोई नहीं, चल तू आ जा.
Because so many people felt validated because of that character. So many people who felt underconfident, they were made to feel that you are nothing, and they found a voice in this character.
Even the two films, my intention was to not tell anybody. I didn't want anyone to know. I wanted people to see if I come in those edits, if I come on the screen, then I'll say, yes, I did it. Of course, you get to spend time with Shah Rukh, and that is, like I say, I had a life before I shot with Shah Rukh and after I shot with Shah Rukh. I mean, after I shot with him, nothing matters. Nothing matters.
They started the OTT revolution in India. They are actually the pioneers of the kind of OTT revolution that we are seeing in the country nowadays. And with them is a new entry. And today it's an honor to be sitting with them. So keeping up with the corporate culture of the show, I'll introduce them as Ms. Dogra, Mr. Mahajan, Mr. Kasturia and Mr. Kumar. So welcome to Bollywood Bubble.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Bollywood Bubble.
Mr. Bubble.
Mr. Bubble.
Mr. Bubble.
Yeah.
Okay, surname बताया, आकाश ने अपना surname नहीं बताया.
I'm Akash Bhatnagar.
अरे, oh,
Nice to meet you,
Next
Mr.
time आप कोई
Bhatnagar.
Bhatnagar रख सकते हो show में.
No.
So firstly, I have to start by saying 7 years long wait people had to kind of endure for this second season.
Yeah.
Like Pitchers was actually the first show that gained a cult status, that became like a landmark for OTT industry. Why did it take so long for you to kind of come up with an idea, Arunabh?
I think what happened with Pitchers is because we used to do videos on YouTube and we ended up making a long form original show much before the ecosystem also was there. All 2014 and 15. So, matlab, something like, you know, we invented a car before there was road. So I think that was the reason why then we had to wait for the road and, you know, 4G, internet, ecosystem, amazing platforms like Z5, consumers getting habituated to watch online stuff. So all those things happened here, and that is where, so I think the whole ecosystem itself needed that much of a time. And then season 1 became so big and cultish that we had to again rewire ourselves. You know, that pressure was there. And for that, we were writing, rewriting, we were thinking how to, you know, sort of, because that's the curse of the sequel. And in order for, so these two things combined has led to this kind of a delay. But I think, you know, I hopefully, sabr ka phal meetha hoga, Akash. So let's hope that the delay leads to good results.
Yeah, and Naveen, like I remember last time I spoke to you as well, and even Manvi, whoever I've spoken to, like everyone has been waiting for season 2, but there was also that kind of key. It has been so amazing the first season that the second season should not kind of get it down. The level should not fall. Was there any skepticism for you to kind of opt for the season 2?
See, that's always there. Yeah, that's still there in my head. Of course, I mean, I would want people to love it as much as they loved the first season. But as Arunabh rightly said, there is a point when you have to get okay with the things, and you know, you have to just start working on it without thinking too much. If we think it's working on paper, let's go with it. Let's not just compare it with because we cannot really predict the results, you know. We have tried to attempt something which is original, which is not there in the first season, actually, you know. But even the first time, originality works, you know. If you're going to ape something that has been done before, it might not work this time. Also, time has passed and people have seen such things. If you're going to recreate Sholay, it might not work today, right? So, again, we have tried to come up with things which are original and real, and with the creative things, they're so subjective. Till the time they're out, you don't really know if they're working or not.
For you, Abhay, like your character's innocence and that naivety that it had, it kind of connected with people the most. Do people still recognize you by that, and people still remember you when you go out and normally outside?
Of course, yeah. Like a lot of people, for them, I am Mandal. Like that's how they call me, and it's lovely to connect with people in such a way that because they have so much love and affection for that character, it was so it's pleasure to do the same thing in the season 2. This is a Mandal 2.0 in season 2. It's more evolved, and I have had a great time exploring new sides of Mandal in this season. I'm so very, very excited about it.
Okay, and Ridhi, like new entry. You are the one who is bringing the kind of the freshness in the series. Okay. So, okay, she's like, okay. No, you bring freshness to everything. That is there. But
to this interview also.
Yes. But when you kind of got the script, you kind of saw that I'm sure you must have seen pictures also. Like, what was the first reaction when you were offered the show? Okay, that cough kind of signifies something. So, yeah.
My first reaction was I wanted to work with TVF. I wanted to work with Arunabh. My second reaction was they make shows about men and romance and they depict a man's world very well. So how am I going to fit into that world? Then I did not see pictures, but I saw aspirants and I saw some other work. I saw Kota Factory and I saw a couple of other things. And my only thing was, how will they depict a woman and what she has to feel and how because I didn't see a lot of that. Of course, and when I got on board, I understood the kind of mindset that they had in terms of my character. There was no need for me to ask the questions about, how will you represent a woman, or do you understand what every time I came up with questions for Vaibhav, our director, he was always prepared, and he was actually quite open to the idea that we need to develop her in the sense that you wish to, and whatever you want to, whatever questions you have, it's good, we'll develop her even more. And but the idea was to show a woman who's badass and who's a boss babe, and not necessarily drive home the point that she's a woman. But also at the same time, she's the one who's sort of tugging them along, and she is giving them a hard time in the show. So that in itself says a lot. You don't really need to say, that a woman is doing it. The fact that it's happening is interesting. And, even when we were shooting the scenes, it was very interesting, the way, they had developed it and the way they had written it. So, yeah, I was in it for all the right reasons.
And like Arunabh, this show is about startups. TVF was a startup at one point. Like, how difficult was it to get an approval for a platform like this? Because, as you said, like at that time, there was no road. Yeah. You just started. So, how difficult was it to get TVF standing on its foot firstly for you?
I think, as such, if you ask me honestly, it wasn't a startup. It was just a small production house trying to make corporate films for even 5,000 rupees. So it was a survival thing that I started, and anybody who starts, I think, so India has the largest population of self-employed people. Someone sitting in fish market along with someone selling handmade toys in a Delhi market, they're all startups. Somebody running a kirane ka store to people running, multi-billion-dollar companies. So it is all, the moment you want to do something and build out a business, I think that is loosely defined as startup. So in that way, yeah, maybe. But we were accidental. All of us just wanted to tell stories that we believed in. And that is how TVF came into being. Film banane aaya tha, that didn't happen. Television show tried, that didn't happen. Then I said, okay, let's do online stuff because, you can put it on your own channel. So I think that so there was no genius or vision behind it. Yes, the desire to tell stories that we resonate with was always there, is always there, and hopefully will be there till the time we grow really, really old. And so I think that is the core ambition that has led to the inception of TVF as well as the continuity of it and hopefully the future of it.
Yeah, and like when it started, like it was still people saw it like corporate culture, kind of representation on screen is that is what TVF kind of presented. But over the years, its popularity and its stature grew like anything, like exponentially. The graph has been. For you, Naveen, you have associated with TVF since the starting, from season 1 till now. Like बीच में experience हो गया. Like you have done so many shows on OTT, but TVF के साथ. So for you, the whole OTT journey, how has it been from season 1 till now, and associating with TVF again and again? In the
See,
last
so
7
far
years?
my identity is TVF only. When I go out and when people recognize me, they don't say Naveen. They say TVF. Hey, TVF. That's how people
You've
recognize.
been a part of some of the great shows, Thinkistan, Breathe.
Yeah, halanki I've done other shows, but this has been my identity. So I mean, you can gauge like this. This has been the scene so far. So I would say even the first viral video of theirs, it had me. That's also one of the things when when Arunabh made his first video, he only asked me to play Ranvijay's part. Actually, he only asked me to have chewing gum in the shot because I had not really acted before properly, So I was, and if I have to play a nervous person on camera, I find it easier because I am a very nervous guy, but I had to be a cocky guy on camera. So I don't know what to do. He said, have chewing gum. Just have chewing gum and keep having chewing gum and keep chewing gum. And you might look cocky. So that's what I did. So that's how it began, And I was wearing Vipul's jacket, who's another friend of ours. So
he was part of actually the first original content that was ever made. So I think, that.
So then Chai Sutta happened. I had started living by Bissu by then. So, So घर से ही actors निकाल रहे हैं. मैं तो director बनने की कोशिश कर रहा था. So उसने कहा भाई और कोई नहीं चल तू आजा. So then that's how Chai Sutta happened. So then when Pitchers happened, so it's like TVF. I've been in a way an integral part of TVF, and TVF has been a very important part of my life. It has given me in a way my career. I think I did a good job in Thinkistan and Bose. I also got a few awards for them. Recently Breathe also came out. So I'm constantly trying to tell people that और एक perception भी बन जाता है फिर. People think अरे आप TVF में काम करते हो तो क्या आप बाहर भी काम करोगे? तो मुझे लगता है अरे मैं तो एक्टर हूँ, मैं तो सब जगह काम करूँगा. तो वो है, मैं वही कह रहा हूँ ना, people मुझे TVF ही समझते हैं. तो I think अच्छी बात ही है ये एक तरीके से.
Like Abhay, for you, how was it coming back to Mandal for the first day you arrived on the set?
I think before coming on the set, there were a lot of conversations. 1-1.5 साल पहले तो हमने एपिसोड्स, मतलब पैंडेमिक में नरेशन हो ही रहा था सबके लिए, तो जितने चेंजेस से स्क्रिप्ट गया है, सारी चीज़ों के चेंजेस, वी वर अवेयर अबाउट इट, वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट इट, तो बहुत सारी चीज़ें पता थी. एंड वी वर फॉर्चुनेट टू गिव लाइक आवर सजेशंस के I would like to do this with my character, can we add this part, and the writers and the makers were very open to it. So I think it's very rare you get to develop the character with the writers. तो उसकी वजह से बहुत excitement था. तो nervousness वैसे नहीं था about performance, but ये था कि जितना प्यार और मतलब connection पहले season में मिला था, उतना किस तरह से होगा, कैसे होगा. So yeah, like really looking forward to it now.
But how close is Mandal to Abhay in real life?
Some parts are there, but I think
but totally opposite, I must say. I think that is what actually proves that how great an actor he is, because I also met him on the set only, so I thought ki okay, maybe he's like that, but once you get to know him, Abhay is very, 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 very different from Mandal in many ways.
I remember जब season 1 देखा था, you start by thinking that he's like so cheap. You start thinking that way,
which is not.
That show के reference में बात कर रहे हैं. But eventually you kind of, he makes a house in your heart.
No, it's
that is the kind of character it is.
Like, and exactly that's the thing which really connected with people, because so many people felt validated because of that character. So many people who felt underconfident, they were made to feel that you are nothing, and they felt they found a voice in this character. They like this character getting its due in the last episode. People felt that उनको due मिल गया, उनको किसी ने validate कर दिया. So that's a great power of this medium also, I think so.
Yeah. So Ridhi, last few months have been very life-changing professionally. Very big announcements there and a new big release here. How has it been kind of experiencing all this kind of success and the kind of stature that is coming with it?
I think what I can say is when you manifest, I've really manifested. What can an actor do? You have choices and you get to choose from those choices whether you want to do something or not, unless you write something for yourself. But I feel like I've manifested my work for myself. Like even TVF, and the other stuff that I'm doing, the ones that you've heard of and the ones you've not heard of. Everything.
So there's more.
So Shah Rukh Salman hai.
So there's Hrithik Roshan also.
No.
So there's Akshay and Hrithik also.
No. Not just
Asur
film.
also, no?
There's Asur 2. There's also another show I'm a part of, jiska bhi season 2 hai.
Ridhi, क्या है? असुर, लक्कड़, बग्गा, शेर, बंदर.
Yeah, I'm an earthy, grounded person.
But you have pictures also.
And pictures. So it's an interesting time. I honestly have my fingers crossed because I feel like I'm one of those few people जिनको लगता है be quiet and let the work come out and then talk about it. So even the 2 films, my intention was to not tell anybody. I didn't want anyone to know. I wanted people to see if I come in those edits, if I come on the screen, then I'll say, yes, I did it. Yes, that's me. So that is how I think I've just become very protective about the work I'm doing and, how I want to do it. And I don't want to say anything before it's out. I want the work to speak for itself. But yes, I'm really, really happy and content with the kind of work that's coming my way. I am.
But अच्छी खबर छुपती कहाँ है? अच्छी खबर तो आ ही जाती है निकल के.
I know. And in fact, I got a call from a journalist. I got a call from someone in Bombay Times, and they said, "We know this." And I was like, I don't know how to do this now. I don't know. I was like, I can't. So yeah.
But being associated with Salman Khan and Shah Rukh Khan, it's a very big deal. So, how was it when you got that offer and you saw yourself working with them?
So both of them had different Tiger for me was honestly the reason for me to do it was Manish. I've known Manish since he was an AD and I was in Zoom television. I was working in Zoom and not an actor, and he and I used to we had common friends, and he and I were the ones to take on the dance floor and say, I know the dance steps. So I know Manish from that time. So when I got a call from Shanu and she said, it's a small part and we want you to be a part of it, but it's very important. And Manish is directing it. I said, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And then I found out another person who was part of the team, who I know very well. We go back a long way. I did a show called 7 for YRF. So, the same team was there. And for me, the reason for me to do Tiger was them actually. That I'll be comfortable. These are people I know. And, whatever, 2 days, 5 days, 10 days, I'm on. I want to do this. And so yeah, there it was. I was less nervous there, honestly. Jawan, I was very nervous. I was very, very should I do it? Should I not? Should I do it? Should I not? But so far, so good. I don't know how much I can talk about anything. But I met Atlee and he was very nice to me. And he and I also hit it off in a way because he's 21st September, I'm 22nd September. So we were like, I know who you are, I know how you are, so we were very comfortable in terms of talking. And then, of course, of course, you get to spend time with Shah Rukh. And that is, I say, I had a life before I shot with Shah Rukh and after I shot with Shah Rukh. I mean, after I shot with him, nothing matters. Nothing matters. I had one day, my first day of shoot was with him, and it was just him and me in the scene, sitting just like this. And so it was extremely special, He didn't get up, he didn't open his phone, he didn't do anything. He was on his chair and so was I. I was like, okay, he's not moving at all. For 7-8 hours, he was sitting, and so it was interesting. And then we started talking, and there was so much Delhi in him that it was very easy to connect with him. And I told him, I'll not call you Shah Rukh.
को हम लोग के बगल में बैठना पड़ रहा है.
Which also I love. I'm very happy to be here, and I've told him I need a permanent seat in TVF.
I'm also from Delhi.
I'm actually very upset that promotions over and soon this will get over. So I was like, no.
Ridhi अभी हैं 10 दिन.
मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि
enjoy this.
10 दिन और 10 season.
Yeah.
Season 3 बना रहे हैं.
But thank you so much for this.
Thank you,
and wishing you lots of love.
Thank you
Thank you so much, Akash. Really
Thank you.
मजा आया बहुत.
बड़ा मजा आया यार.
Thank you so much. Hi everyone, this is Ridhi Dogra.
Hi, this is Abhay Mahajan.
नमस्कार देवी और सजनों, मैं हूं नवीन कस्तूरिया.
Hi, this is Arunabh. You're watching us on Bollywood Bubble. Please have a great new year. Watch Pitchers Season 1 and Season 2 coming soon on Z5 on 23rd of December.
And please like, share and subscribe to the channel Bollywood Bubble.